pick and roll with him, which means Nate McMillan must have confidence that he can keep the ball in front of him.
Oh, Hill off the dribble, able to beat Roy, and there was no help. And Nate McMillan is not happy about that last play.
You know, because that is not championship defense. If you're going to let a guy take 2 dribbles and go down the lane for an uncontested layup, then you're not going to go very far in the playoffs.
Portland, Oregon, where the Trailblazers trail the Suns 72-65. This week, Greg Oden hosted a holiday party and a movie screening for members of his Oregon Mentors group, Team Oden. Oregon Mentors is a nonprofit organization that seeks to connect every child in Oregon with a mentor. And throughout the season, Oden organizes events for the mentors and the mentees and invites them to Trailblazers home games. The NBA, where caring happens. Mark.
All right, Craig, it's a 7-point Phoenix lead. 2.5 gone by here in the third quarter. On the court, Greg Oden been able to be on the court for just a total of 8 minutes. Nice move by Oden. Beautiful footwork as he hit over O'Neal. So Oden is 4 of 4 from the field, but playing with the 3 fouls.
How about the left-hand bank shot?
Stoudemire. Oh, he got the roll.
Reg, that lefty shot that you saw, that was back from his Ohio State year, if you remember, when he had the bad right hand, couldn't use it very much, so he wound up doing everything lefty there for a while.
Shooting free throws. Worked out for him.
Oden setting up in the post, and again goes at O'Neal. This time came up short.
That left hand wasn't too bad before.
Crowd looking for a foul on Shaq. This the second of our TNT doubleheader earlier tonight. The Magic over the Spurs 90-78. San Antonio just 29 points in the first half. Orlando now 20-6. That's the third best record in the Eastern Conference.
There's the switch again with Aldridge on a small man.
Nash's pass broken up.
Careless turnover by Steve Nash.
Blake opens for 3. He has shot the ball so well. 7 of 11. He has 17 points, and it's a 4-point Phoenix lead. They double up on Stoudemire. Good job by Oden coming over to help. And here is Hill. Well, Stoudemire was able to find someone on that aggressive double team. Here is Roy, and he is fouled, hit by Hill. So Brandon Roy will head to the line. You could win 1 of 30 trips to NBA All-Star 2009. Find out about the Southwest Airlines Slam Dunk Sweepstakes at southwest.com NBA. In our chat earlier with Nate McMillan, the head coach of the Blazers, he was pointing out how this is a statement game for this very young team, and he talked about his days as a member of the Sonics when guys would have to prove themselves going up against some of the stars of the league, guys they were in awe of, people like Julius Erving, and he looks at the Phoenix Suns in the same manner.
Almost like his team gives them too much respect. They don't, well, can we really beat this team that's got Steve Nash on it, and Shaquille O'Neal on it, and Stoudemire on it?
And here's Stoudemire. Oh, he tried to extend to Stuff, and he took a shot. A foul by Nicholas Batum.
And the officials did a good job of huddling up and asking themselves, was that a flagrant one? And the answer is no. Batum is going for the ball as well as Oden. Both guys trying to get a block.
And apparently they're calling it on Oden. That's his 4th.
He did foul him.
Yeah, that's the right call. He got him first, clearly, just below the elbow area.
So that is number 4 on Greg Oden. Stoudemire has really come on. Now 14 points, 8 of 8 at the line. 78-72, Phoenix. It's a Blazer team that is 16-10. They played 16 of their first 24 games on the road, and they won 8 and 8. And they're now in a stretch where they're going to spend much time at home, playing 8 of 9 here at the Rose Garden. Shot clock down to 7. Again, they collapse on Stoudemire. Richardson, 4-3.
What a pickup for the Phoenix Suns. Jason Richardson led the league in three-pointers made a year ago, 243.
That's his 4th three-pointer of the night. He has 16 points in all. Blake able to squeeze his way through. Comes back to Blake. Little give and go. Perhaps the extra pass, but Blake fired up a 3, and it's last touch by the Blazers. And a foul is called. That is number 5 on Oden.
And Nate McMillan has Joe Prisbilla at the table, but he couldn't get him in. He was hoping that there would be a stoppage in play. There certainly is on foul number 5. You'll see as the ball goes up on the inside. Watch Oden now where his hands are. See if it really is. That little shove with the one hand in Shaq's back is what they call his 5th foul.
Here's Nash from downtown. Steve Nash with 6 points. Phoenix up by 12. It is their biggest lead of the night. You can hear the reaction from this crowd. Prisbilla has now come on for Oden. Roy with the step, and he is fouled. Hit on the hand, so he'll shoot a couple.
And this crowd right now is reacting because people are wondering, how is Greg Oden going to be able to push 300, and I'll be generous here, 40-pound Shaquille O'Neal in the back and get that kind of reaction?
Foul on O'Neal, his 3rd. Let's check in with Craig.
When Portland returned from a road loss last Thursday in Utah, there were reports that Greg Oden was frustrated with his game and not happy playing the game of basketball. He told me tonight he received a call from his mentor and former AAU coach Jimmy Smith last Sunday. They talked at length, and Oden said that was exactly what he needed. I talked to Smith just a few moments ago and asked him what advice he told Oden. He said, listen, you're out of the game for a year and a half. You've only been back for 20 games. You got 8 double-doubles. You lead the team in rebounding 11 times. Just keep up the good work. You will continue to get better. Most of all, he said, if you can give a hug over the phone, that's what I did.
Well, Greg Oden sat out all of last season following the microfracture surgery, repairing that cartilage-damaged right knee. Foul was called on Richardson, and then Oden started the season, then was sidelined with that sprained right foot that was suffered on opening night.
And if I could give him another piece of advice, I would tell Greg not to go on the internet, don't read the blogs, trying not to read the paper, stop watching the news reports, because look, you're the #1 pick, and there's a lot of high expectations for him. And when you read all that, there's going to be a lot of people out there that's going to be criticizing, and that's going to make you, a little bit depressed at times.
Now, as a player, that's a defensive 3. Did you read everything? There are so many athletes, whatever the sport, who claim, and I never believe it, that they don't watch television, don't listen to the radio, don't read the newspapers.
Yes, but the difference, I think, between Greg and I is I kind of fed off of that. I kind of liked when people said bad things, and it kind of motivated me. He's a little bit too sensitive. And when you're too sensitive and you've always been like that, you can't feed into that negativity.
Zara, you recall bad things said about Reggie? I thought it was all positive, particularly in New York.
What I'm interested in is the fact, I think, Mark, that I heard you say that you don't believe athletes at all, anything they say.
No, I did not. I did not say that. I said
something along those lines.
No. Well, that might be true, actually. Actually, when you think about it, yes. If you put it in that context. Richardson gets it off. I don't believe in athlete speak, put it that way, or coach speak. How about you, Czar? Did you? I know you don't. Wrong. Giving a knockdown of 3. I know the word blog is not in your vocabulary, but as a coach, you read everything. You heard everything.
No, I will be very honest.
You went after people.
I did read it because I felt that it was important that you knew what was being said, and there were points that could be made to help your team through someone's article or statement that then you don't have to make. Let them make it for you. Just show it to the team.
Now that's a touch foul called on Batum. A moment ago there was a delay of game call. A second delay of game against the Blazers would make a technical foul.
Yeah, but you know, it goes back to the individual, and I think Greg Oden is a little bit too sensitive because he's the #1 pick. So many things, he gets hurt. People are like, oh, we got another Sam Bowie on our hands. So he's feeding into that, and he just wants to come out and play hard. That's all. I would just tell Greg Oden to play hard and concentrate on the defensive end, and don't worry about your offense. You've got enough offense out here in LaMarcus Aldridge and Brandon Roy.
But it's the makeup of the personality. You mentioned how you would be motivated by certain things that were said or written. I'm sure that's the case with a guy like Shaquille O'Neal. He gets motivated by that.
And he'll get hardened up as time goes on.
Here's Roy again. So Roy, with 30 points, he scored the last 9 for the Blazers.
You know, Mark, you asked me if I read many bad things written about Reggie. No, but I did say to the officials every night that we played them, will you please watch Reggie kicking my player on a jump shot. Yeah.
And off the collision. And let's see. Stoudemire's all right. He went down along with
Stoudemire trying to go after this rebound right here. Kind of goes over the back of Batum, picking up the foul.
And now Amundsen over at the scorer's table. He will replace Stoudemire, just collected #4. So Amari sits down with 14 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and had a very strong third quarter. There's Roy. Hill on the recovery, and Crowd wanted a foul on Hill. Roy for 3. Yes! Brandon Roy on fire. He has brought the Blazers within 4. He scored the last 12 points for Portland. And a defense from this crowd here at the Rose Garden. Shot clock to 5. Hill off the dribble. Oh, he lost his bottle. Here comes Roy. Nash is back. Roy all the way. It counts and the foul.
Brandon Roy has taken his game to a new level. He takes the ball strong to the basket. We see Nash trying to move underneath him. No way can he get there in time. Then answering with the downtown left side jumper.
And welcome back, and it has been the Brandon Roy show here in the second half, averaging 32 points over his previous 4 games and getting it done in a number of ways. A spot-up jumper right here, and then splits the double team, knocks down the jumper, and then right here, a contested 3-point shot, and then gets out on the break, surveys the defense. Steve Nash underneath the hoop, gets the foul, got the contact, going to the line for and 1, bringing back the Blazers down by 2 points. 30 points in 4 of the last 5 ball games.
Brandon Roy now with 35 points, including the last 14 over the last 4 minutes and 11 seconds. His career high, 38. And he did that last week in a double overtime loss to the Clippers. So 36 for Roy. The Blazers have come back from a 12-point deficit, and they are within 1 as we approach 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Barnes with a nice fake. Barnes is fouled. Foul committed by Aldridge. Let's go to Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, there's no doubt Brandon Roy has got on one of his rolls and put Portland back in this game, but Nate McMillan says sometimes they rely on him too much. Last week he had 30 or more points in 3 consecutive games, but they lost all 3 to Orlando, Utah, and to the Clippers.
And that's a rare free throw miss for the Phoenix Suns.
Well, Craig, I think it should just freeze him out then. Don't give him the ball anymore this game.
Well, my question now is who on the Suns is going to be able to guard him? When a player gets this hot, it doesn't matter who you throw on him. He's going to foul some guys out. Matt Barnes, Jay Rich, Leandro Barbosa. Do you go big? Do you go small?
Grant Hill now defending on Roy. With help, Nash switching off. Blake for 3. Yes. The Blazers have taken a 1-point lead. 4 3-pointers for Steve Blake. Nash. Oh, he got the roll.
How about the backcourt shooting for the Blazers? 19 for 32 right now between Blake and Roy.
And they have combined for 56 points. Outlaw with a nice move. Little change of pace as he approached the rim. Portland up 90-89. Blazers now shooting at 55%. And the Suns just under 60. Here's the lob, overthrown, intended for O'Neal. And Shaq is fortunate that he was not called for a foul.
Well, and Brandon Roy is fortunate that he has all his teeth as well, as 340 pounds came crashing down on him.
Reggie, you asked the question, who should be guarding Brandon Roy? To me, the guy that I would think would at least have a chance of it would be Jason Richardson. I mean, that physically, he's athletic, he's strong, he's quick enough, yet he's, right now, tonight, unstoppable.
Richardson is now on Roy. Outlaw, yes. Oh, Travis Outlaw feeling it. Couple of buckets. In fact, his only field goals of the night. It's a 3-point Blazer lead. Minute and a half left in the third. Here's Nash protecting it. He saw Brisbillett to his right. And Shaquille O'Neal will head to the line. Shaq is 3 of 5 at the line. Brisbillett called for the foul. It's third. All new episodes of 10 Items or Less are coming to TBS Tuesdays. Don't miss the premiere of 10 Items or Less, Tuesday, January 6th at 11:10 Central, only on TBS. Very funny.
Reggie, watch Shaq shoot this, how he has the ball completely on his fingertips. You see a lot of space between the palm of his hand and the basketball.
I just like how he has the basketball lined up on the seams. It just looks like it's a good follow-through, as opposed to Shaq in years past. He would just throw the ball up there and not even lining it up with his fingers.
And tonight he's 5 of 7 from the line. In fact, he is 30 of his last 45. Outlaw has the hot hand.
This is a shootout.
Travis Outlaw in his 6th NBA season, coming off the bench. And he's provided instant offense. Suns with the ball, down by 3. Here is Barnes. Barnes able to back his way on Blake.
Is anyone going to stop anyone, Coach?
What they've done is they've really done a good job, both teams, of taking advantage of a mismatch. When they know they've got a small man, they either post him up or they back him down and shoot over the top.
And Roy is fouled. He was tripped up by Richardson. Both teams over the foul limit. And that'll put Roy at the line. He has 36 points at one stretch. He scored 15 consecutive for the Blazers. He's 11 of 13 at the line.
I think you got to start talking about Brandon Roy as one of the premier shooting guards in this league. I think Kobe Bryant is at the top of that list. Maybe Dwayne Wade, Joe Johnson.
Let me ask you guys, shooting guards or scoring guards?
Shooting guards, the position of shooting guards. That's where Brandon Roy plays. Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Joe Johnson, Brandon Roy. He's got to be mentioned in that discussion. Manu Ginobili.
And he has equaled a career high with the 38. As I mentioned, he had 38 last week in a double overtime loss to the Clippers. Down to 20 seconds remaining in this third quarter. 5 on the shot clock. They swing it, and a hit is called for the travel.
Good call that time. Grant Hill tried to go, had his feet moving before he put the ball down on the floor.
So the Blazers in possession. They have 12 seconds remaining in this third quarter. The crowd responds as Rudy Fernandez comes off the bench. He checks in. And now Louis Amundsen gets the call. And he comes on for Phoenix. Blake sets things up. Down to 5. Roy putting moves on Richardson. Shoots for 3. Oh, it's tipped home! It appears that it will count. But they will review it. Travis Outlaw with a sensational play to end the third quarter.
And all you really want to do is get a hand on it and let luck take it the rest of the way. Travis Outlaw with the extension, balls in the air, get it on the rim, and Lady Luck touches you on the shoulder.
We're back in Portland where the Trailblazers outscored the Suns 39-27 in the third quarter. The NBA on TNT being presented by the United States Marine Corps. And that tip by Travis Outlaw at the buzzer was ruled good. So it's a 5-point Blazer lead over the Suns. Moments ago, Craig Sager talked with Blazers head coach Nate McMillan.
Well, Coach, that was quite a third quarter, particularly by your all-star Brandon Roy. What was it like sitting there watching him put on that streak, getting you back into the game?
Well, he's been doing a lot of that for us this season. And, you know, when the game is on the line like that, he's been able to take control. We got to keep defending, make their defense move, and we should have some open looks.
You said this is a great test for your team, going up a team against the Phoenix Suns with all their all-stars, the team your team looks up to. At what point do they finally say, hey, we can play with them?
Well, we can say that now. We got to finish out the fourth quarter. We won that quarter. Now we need to finish the game.
Thanks.
All right.
All right, Craig, as this fourth quarter gets underway, Joe Przybilla left wide open, able to put it down, extends to a 7-point Blazer lead. Here is Stoudemire. Will he get the continuation? Yes, he does, says the outside official. Tony Brown, the basket counts and the foul. So Stoudemire has 16 points. And the foul called on Fernandez.
And what they're saying here, it was a little bit of a trip there by Rudy Fernandez, and the ball did not go back down to the floor, so that is continuation in the NBA.
The Blazers finished up that third quarter, outscoring the Suns 26-9 over the last 6 minutes. This after trailing by 12. They're able to turn it around and come back. They now have a 4-point lead. Portland shot 14 of 20 from the field in the third quarter without a turnover. And a foul is called away from the ball. It is on Barnes, his first.
Well, let me ask this question, Greg. We heard Terry Porter tell us from day one defense has been a commitment for them. 31-point first quarter they give up, 39-point third quarter they give up. Can it be sometimes, no matter what your emphasis is, you just don't have guys that are defenders that stop people?
Well, you look out there, and Jason Richardson, most of his career in Golden State playing under Don Nelson's system. Steve Nash, never really been a defender. So those two guys really, Shaq not being able to play pick and rolls as the foul by Przybilla over the back. So you've got 3 guys that's never really been committed in playing defense. And sometimes when you tell them on command, you've got to play defense, it's tough.
That's 4 on Przybilla. Oden sitting down with 5. There is Barbosa for 3. Barbosa had a terrific second quarter. Leandro Barbosa has shot the ball well. He now has 12 points. It is a 1-point Blazer lead. Blake met by Barnes. Shot clock to 5. Outlaw. Yes! What a run for Travis Outlaw. He has 10 points all in the second half.
Travis Outlaw can come in a game and hit 4 or 5 shots in a row after sitting there cold for 20, 25, 30 minutes, and he'll suddenly come in and make them for you. He gives you that kind of lift.
Barnes trying to get it down low, and here is Roy. Chased by Barnes and fouled. Good job by Barnes hustling back, but that'll put Roy at the line for 2.
Isn't it interesting? He went to the other side of the rim just to use that left hand because he's so confident. He could have gone to the right side, but instead wound up crossing and going across the lane. There you see him now move over to the other side to try and finish with his left hand.
Roy 13 of 15 at the line, and hearing chants of MVP from this crowd here at the Rose Garden. That's a new career high, 39 points for Brandon Roy. Well, the votes are in for NBA TV Fan Night. You chose the Los Angeles Lakers at the New Orleans Hornets.
Shocker.
Coverage begins Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Log on to NBA.com each week to cast your vote for the game that you want to see. Make it 40. 40 points for Brandon Roy. Apparently a problem with the clock. They reset it. The shot clock and the game clock had their difficulties. 2 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter. It has been a shootout with the Blazers in front now, 104 to 99. Phoenix has led by as many as 12. Nash taking to the rim. 11 points, 9 assists for Steve Nash. Outlaw guarded by Barnes. Got the step. Nice fake and Outlaw again.
Well, it's hard for me to think, Coach, that a team is shooting 61% from the floor, 84 from the line, and 77% from three-point range, and they're down 5.
Nash rebounded by Prisbilla. How about Travis Outlaw? 12 points the last 5 minutes of play. Outlaw lost his man, and it's broken up. Good play by Barbosa, got a hand on it. So the Blazers maintain possession. They have 9 on the shot clock.
Richardson was denying Outlaw the ball so hard. It was a simple, wide open back door. He just decided to pass rather than try and make a shot.
Oh, Fernandez got it inside, but Roy was not able to hit. Here comes Barbosa with Prisbilla back to Blake from behind, able to break it up.
Well, you said it. This is the guy that's come off the bench for Portland and given him quite a lift. We see Outlaw facing up. He's long. He can jump. He has the ability to finish. And then when you throw a little fake in there, it's 2.
106-101. The Blazers have come from 12 down and take the lead. There's the head coach of the Suns, Terry Porter. First year here with Phoenix following the departure of Mike D'Antoni. This past Tuesday night, his number 30 jersey was retired here at the Rose Garden. Terry had a stellar career with the Blazers, making it to 2 NBA Finals. Spent 10 years here and finished his career as the franchise's all-time leader in assists, ranked second in 6 different categories. And this past Tuesday night, surrounded by his wife and his 3 children, he was visibly moved by the ceremony. And then tonight, another former Blazer, very important man on the 1977 championship team, Bobby Gross, was honored and his jersey retired. Also, coincidentally, a guy who wore number 30. Bobby Gross, one of my favorite players. The guy did the little things, rebounded, played defense, could score, and had a terrific finals against Julius Erving and the 76ers. Nice move by Outlaw, and then call for a palm. So the ball back to the Suns. And there's Bobby Gross, honored at halftime. Played 8 years here in Portland on that outstanding team led by Bill Walton and Maurice Lucas, who's an assistant with the Blazers. Lionel Hollins, Dave Twardzik, Lloyd Neal, Johnny Davis, the head coach Jack Ramsey. Blazer Mania was at its peak, and fans here in Portland, if Stoudemire comes up short but is fouled, fans think that this team could be on the verge of Blazer Mania.
Marvin, you asked Terry Porter, what was your favorite moment in Portland? He said back in 1990 when they made the finals for the first time. He said, look, we never won it all, but we got there a couple of times. And he said in 90, we had 3 small college players on the team that nobody thought could make it, and they all wound up having pretty darn good careers. That was Porter, Kevin Duckworth, and Jerome Kersey. All 3 of them coming out of small schools that the Blazers had drafted and played big parts, obviously, in their success.
106 to 103, Portland. Richardson staying on Roy. Brisbilla sets the pick, and you see Shaq switching off. Here is Outlaw. Back comes Barbosa. Barbosa and Richardson at the guards with O'Neal, Stoudemire, and Barnes on the front line. Barnes played by Outlaw. Barnes for 3. Yes, he hit 3 in a row in the first half. Matt Barnes with 17 points, and he has tied the game.
How does Outlaw go underneath the pick when it was Barnes who threw down the pass down low? You got to stay attached.
Roy, the tip missed by Brisbilla, saved by Stoudemire. Barbosa for Barnes. Beautifully done.
I was just about to say, when were the last 2 fast break points for Phoenix? Here they come up with them right there. You see, just keeping it alive, Stoudemire at least gives him a chance, and Barbosa's instinctive reaction is go to the rim. I just need somebody to run with me. Barnes providing that.
Happy holidays from all of us at TNT. Am I hearing Jingle Bell Rock in the background? Yes, and Czar, as you mentioned, Bobby Helms on the vocal. You're so on it as we take a look at the national television schedule. On Christmas Day, 12 o'clock on ESPN New Orleans, at Orlando, on ABC San Antonio and Phoenix, on ABC at 5, Boston and the Lakers. Celtics now 24-2, and they've won 16 in a row. And then a doubleheader on TNT Christmas night, starting at 8 o'clock with the Wizards playing at Cleveland. Outlaw misfires, rebounded by O'Neal, and then in the second of that twin bill, it's Dallas right here against the Blazers in Portland. Phoenix with 7 consecutive points, and they've recaptured the lead, up by 2. Stoudemire, yes. Greg Oden, as you saw, back on the floor. He's playing with 5 fouls. Phoenix with a 110-106 lead. And Roy was blocked by Richardson.
Well, let's give credit to Joel Brisbilla. Fantastic job once Oden picked up that 5th personal foul early in the 3rd quarter. Shaq only 2 points in this second half, 17 in the first.
Both teams with 3 team fouls. Richardson staying on Roy, who has a career high, looking to add to it. Another foul on Richardson. That's 4 on Jason Richardson.
Here's one of the problems. Jason Richardson, and yes, he's just getting, obviously, indoctrinated into their system. You can't give Roy a choice. Send him one way. Don't give him a choice. Send him either away from the screen or to the screen, but you can't keep guessing on him because he's too good with the ball handling it.
Hernandez lost it. Stoudemire took it out of his hands. Terry Porter staying with Barbosa at the point. Barbosa and Richardson in the backcourt now with O'Neal up front along with Stoudemire and Barnes. Stoudemire. Rebounded by Outlaw.
On that time, I think there's too many cutters for Shaq. I think once the ball goes in, let him crab dribble a couple times and let him go to work. Too many cutters in the lane.
Yeah, but the first one, you know what, was Richardson, and that's what he's used to doing, flashing from away from the ball into the opening. He's done it for years, so it was natural.
Roy for three. Make it 43 points for Brandon Roy. It is a 1-point Phoenix lead. The Suns want to talk it over. That stopped a 9-0 run for Phoenix. In the third quarter, the Blazers outscored the Suns 39-27. Phoenix has turned it around. They've outscored Portland 17-11, but what about Brandon Roy? He has had himself a career night. 12 for 22 from the field, 43 points.
You know, when it's a low post guy that's beating you, you can go send people at him and double team him. It's tough to double a perimeter player on the outside because he finds the open man under the basket. So decision now by Terry Porter. How do you play him with the last 5 minutes to go in the game and hope to stop him?
Here's O'Neal putting moves on Oden. Oden played him well. Roy diving for it and takes a timeout. Nate McMillan was surprised that there was a timeout call.
Well, Monty McCutcheon was pointing down towards the Phoenix bench thinking they had the ball and was calling timeout, but actually it was the Trailblazers.
So Roy does save the possession with 5 minutes, 2 seconds remaining here in the fourth. The Suns with a 1-point lead on the Blazers, and with that timeout called by Roy. Portland with 2 remaining, both full timeouts, and Phoenix with 2 full, and a 20. That's the third highest point total by a Trailblazer over the last 10 years. 43 and counting for the man with the basketball, now being guarded by Matt Barnes with help. Roy, and kept alive by Oden. Outlaw to the pull-up. Yes! And the foul! Travis Outlaw going glass. He has 14 and will go to the line.
And when Oden gets the rebound on the offensive end and they get the ball to Travis Outlaw, he understands he has the mismatch with Barbosa on him. Just knows he can rise up and elevate. He's going to be able to get a good look at the basket.
Outlaw with all 14 of his points in the second half.
You mentioned that Roy's total is the third highest. Well, the leader is Damon Stoudemire with 54 for Portland.
Nice move by Nash. The Suns by 1, 112, 111.
That's surprising, Coach. I would have thought it would have been Clyde Drexler.
Damon Stoudemire, who I was fortunate enough to coach only for part of the season.
Oh, O'Neal with the rejection. Shot clock at 5. Down to 3, down to 2. Outlaw blocked from behind by Barnes. So the Suns come up with 2 excellent defensive plays on that possession. And the word defense is not one that has been used frequently during the course of this telecast. Stoudemire, Amari Stoudemire, who's turned it up in the second half. He has 22. Phoenix up by 3.
Just throw it to anyone. They're just going to make a shot. I mean, that's where it is right now.
It's a video game, Coach. It's a video game.
Roy is fouled. So he will head to the line. 2 more free throws for Roy, who is 15 of 17 at the line.
And Brandon Roy gets in, and you see Shaq coming over, and this is what And the block behind by Barnes as the shot clock is running down. Right here, Steve Nash, simple pick and pop. This is one thing that Stoudemire has worked on when he was out for that year with microfracture surgery, is an outside facing shot.
Roy, an 84% free throw shooter, this past Tuesday night here in Portland in the win over Sacramento. Roy, 15 of 15 at the line. Tonight, 16 of 18 at the line. 45 points for Roy. Stoudemire got to force the issue. He thought he was fouled. Portland down by 1. Roy. Yes!
Why not?
An extraordinary performance by Brandon Roy. 47 points, and the Blazers lead by 1. Barnes with a deep 3, right back. Matt Barnes with his 5th three-pointer. The Suns have hit 12 of 16 from downtown. The Blazers 10 of 20 from three-point land. It's a 2-point Phoenix lead. Here is Roy, and the crowd was looking for a foul. Barbosa, and apparently
Offensive foul on Steve Nash.
It's a very, very good call. Nash does this a lot. He passes, and then as he passes the ball, he continues to move right into the defender. It's kind of an on-the-move screen so the man can't rotate out to the shooter. Watch the pass. Watch him keep going. Right there, he tries to block out Blake so he can't rotate out. Good call by the official.
And that's 3 on Nash. Blazers down by 2. Blake for 3. And it's collected by O'Neal. One-handed by Shaq. A strong game for O'Neal. 19 points, 6 rebounds. Barnes facing the double. Blake took it away in a foul. It is called on Barnes as he tried to get it back.
And that's the biggest problem that Phoenix has had, the number of turnovers that they have and the points that it's led to for Portland. Ball fake. Don't just throw it into the hands of the defenders. Ball fake and then throw the pass.
Phoenix over the foul limit. Blake an 84% free throw shooter. He has been solid throughout the course of his career, although did have his difficulties last week in that double overtime loss to the Clippers.
Yeah, missing 4 of 5 down the stretch, which allowed Baron Davis to knock down a 3 to send it to overtime, and they went on to lose that game here in the Rose Garden, 120 to 112.
The game is tied at 1-17. Nash played on a switch by Aldridge. Here's Nash getting in the lane. Felt the contact, and he will shoot 2.
And there's the switching again. Pick and roll involving Aldridge. Nate McMillan has enough faith in him that he can keep the ball handler in front of him, and then with his length, it's tough to get a shot up over him.
That is number 5 on LaMarcus Aldridge. Aldridge goes 6'11", 240, and has been able to switch off continuously on the 6'2". Steve Nash, who is an excellent free throw shooter. Nash now 3 of 3 at the line, always among the leaders, 93% this season.
How about the luxury Nate McMillan has, knowing that the ball is going to be in its best player's hand in Brandon Roy, Travis Outlaw on one wing, and you got a pick and pop player in LaMarcus Aldridge.
A minute 45 left in this 4th quarter. Shot clock down to 7. Roy now played by Nash. Down to 1. He went close. LaMarcus Aldridge has tied the game at 119. They double up on Richardson. Richardson for three. It is Portland ball as we approach 1 minute to go in the fourth. Roy for three. Yes! 50 points. 5-0 for Brandon Roy. 122-119. Portland timeout. Phoenix.
Brandon Roy, the nice give and go from Steve Blake.
Well, here's what's coming up on TNT next inside the NBA, and the guys will have lots to talk about. John Thompson will visit Derek Coleman to see the impact that he's had on the Detroit neighborhood he grew up in. And a reminder, next Thursday, it's a Christmas night doubleheader. We'll be in Cleveland for the Wizards and the Cavaliers, followed by Dallas at Portland. Coverage starts at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Brandon Roy, 50 points on only 27 field goal attempts. He's 14 of 27, 17 of 19 from the line, and he's hit 5 from downtown. 3-point lead for the Blazers. Nash to tie it. Cannot. Rebounded by Roy. We're down to 50 seconds to play in regulation.
That was a designed three-point shot coming out of the huddle that time. Back pick clear for Steve Nash.
Shot clock to 7. Outlaw for 3. Rebounded by 8. 30 seconds remaining. There's a 9-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
Those two offensive rebounds by Oden may be his two biggest ones yet this season.
Aldridge kept alive by the Blazers. And the ball was knocked out of bounds by Phoenix, so Portland maintains possession with 12 and 2/10 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. Timeout. We'll be right back. Blazers down to 1 timeout remaining. They have the ball. They're up by 3, trying to stop that 11-game losing streak at the hands of Phoenix.
And how about Outlaw on the offensive glass again? Just gets a hand on it as he's trying to bring it back in. It goes off Jason Richardson's thigh. Blazer ball.
How do the Suns play it here?
Well, they hope that they pass the ball into... They took Oden off the court, so the next worst free throw shooter is Aldridge on the floor. Aldridge is who they'd like to touch it. Foul immediately.
12.2 to go, and Portland has to use its final timeout. Good job defending the inbounds.
Excellent job defending at that time. You hope to get the steal first. If not, you would like the ball to go to the worst foul shooter.
The story tonight, Brandon Roy putting up 50 points. The high this season, Tony Parker had a 55 game against Minnesota. Roy doing it from all angles, 14 of 27, 17 of 19 at the line, and 5 threes.
And it really didn't matter who was guarding him. You went with the smaller Jason Richardson on him, and he just went by him. You got Matt Barnes, who has length, and he just kind of lulled him to sleep with that little rocker step and just rose up above him.
Well, the Suns in the same position as they were just a moment ago.
And they're hoping for the same defense because Portland has no timeouts left. It would go possession Phoenix if they hold them again.
And there's Blake having trouble, and it's snatched by Aldridge. And now the foul, but not the man that Terry Porter wanted to put at the line. Brandon Roy hit by Jason Richardson. Roy is 17 of 19.
Yeah, and Barnes should have realized once Aldridge out-jumped him for the ball, that should have been the foul right away. He's the 70% free throw shooter.
We're down to 9.8 remaining. The Suns do have 2 timeouts left, 2 20s. It's now a 4-point Blazer lead. 52 for Roy. And Terry Porter takes a timeout.
Well, if you're Terry Porter, obviously you're going to try to go for the 3 quickly. 12 of 18 tonight from beyond the arc. Matt Barnes, Steve Nash, as well as Jason Richardson, been pretty consistent from beyond the 3.
The key is that whatever he draws up, if you don't have a look immediately for the 3, take the ball and go to the basket. You could get the 3 on a drive, foul, layup, go in. You have to press immediately, come up with a steal. You need the second possession, so it's 2-3 or 3-2, either way to make up the 5.
And you got to play good defense because the Blazers have no timeouts. So if you can get a stop while the ball's underneath and get a turnover, you get the ball back.
Phoenix will put it in play in their front court. So they're down to that final timeout. As you see, 9 and 8/10 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Barnes will throw in. Here's Nash, played tightly. Lost the handle, then recovers. Missed the layup. Rebound Roy, and that'll work. A spectacular game here at the Rose Garden. And the Blazers, led by Brandon Roy, who hit for 52 points, second highest total this season in the NBA. At one stretch, he had 15 straight in the 3rd quarter. He had 17 in the last 6 minutes of the 3rd, as Portland ended that quarter on a 26-9 run. A career night for Brandon Roy, and he is with Craig Sager.
Well, Brandon Roy, what a night, what a game to watch you perform. You got the game ball under your arm. I guess you're going to keep it, huh?
Yeah, I need this one. I haven't beat Phoenix since I've been in the NBA. Had the best game of my career, and a lot of my teammates stepped up tonight. I mean, it's a team effort. We needed this win.
The team had lost 11 in a row with Phoenix. You had been part of 9 of those. Coach talked about how this was a big game for you guys to measure up. What did you think you proved here tonight as a team?
We proved it tough. I mean, Phoenix had 3 days off, and they brought it tonight. I mean, Shaq was working hard. Nash played well, and we outlasted them tonight. So I think we showed a lot to ourselves, to our fans, that we're a tough team when we come to play for 48 minutes.
Well, most of us never have any idea what it's like to get in a role like that. Reggie Miller, one of those that does. He said when you get like that, it doesn't matter who's guarding you. Is that how you felt tonight, and how did you feel out there?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say the basket was big, but my confidence was huge tonight. I mean, I just felt like every shot I took was going to go in, and my teammates just kept feeding me confidence. And I mean, it's one of them nights you got to ride out. I said, Coach, I want to play. I feel like I'm feeling good. And he said, hey, go for it.
You guys lost 3 in a row. Coach called you into the office and said, Brandon, is there something wrong with this team? You assured him there wasn't. Well, how did you feel about the team, and how did you know there was nothing wrong when you went through that losing streak?
Because, I mean, this is a close team. I mean, when he brought me into that office, I said, Coach, everybody's fine. And I felt confident in saying that because we lost 2 tough games. We felt like we should have won, and nobody lacked confidence. So we came out, proved it against Sacramento, and proved it once more.
Well, it's a career night. It would have been a shame if you guys wouldn't have won this game. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
All right, Craig. He was the Rookie of the Year in 2007 in his 3rd season out of the University of Washington. What a night for Brandon Roy and the Portland Trail Blazers, who go to 17-10. Phoenix drops to 15-11. How about the Blazers ending the game on a 7-0 run to win it by 5? Thanks to our producer, Scooter Bertino, director, Maceo Grant, associate director, Bert Bundy and Bob Akanian, production assistants, Darryl Bernardo and Donzel Floyd, and our statistician, Paul Evans. From Mike Fratello, Reggie Miller, Craig Sager, and the rest of our crew, I'm Marv Albert saying good night from Portland in a sensational performance by Brandon Roy. 52 points on the night. It's the Blazers over the Suns.